Hello everyone, this is Andrew T. once again coming at you. I'm doing another vlog. Have a new haircut, or all my hair is cut at this point. Felt like shaving it down, had never done it before in my life. See how it looks. I'm getting a lot of good feedback, so I'll probably keep it as it is. Anyway, the title of this vlog, or the theme behind it, is CrossFit. I'm going to a lot of videos about CrossFit, seeing it come up everywhere. Apparently it's been a thing for just under 10 years from what I understand, but from what it looks like, from my conclusions I draw from it are it's for a younger crowd, and it's not for longevity. So it's not something you can do, like, I don't know, play baseball recreationally for your entire life, or hockey, or, flag football, any sport, name it. So this sport, and they do consider it a sport, is basically different workouts every day, depending on which box you go to. That's what they call their gyms. And whoever is in charge of that you come in at your certain time, they'll have the workout up on the dry erase board, and they give you a time frame, and you do it. Now, that's great if the workouts are tailored to something you could do, or at least, what's the word I'm looking for? At least in your skill level. So you can stair step it up to the highest, or you could, put it down to somewhere along your what you need to do. Or if there's an exercise you can't do, you should be able to skip it. The only problem with this is that CrossFit expects you to do pretty much everything on the workout, and if you can't do it, you at least have to attempt it until you literally can't do it anymore. Either your grip fails, or you collapse, or whatever. Because that is the culture of this, because everyone's competing against everyone else for the best times, the most reps. And it's good in that sense, is that for a community standpoint, there's a lot of people pushing you and egging you on almost to get that last rep, even though you should have stopped like five ago to save your body or save your back. And from my understanding is that everyone who does CrossFit either really loves it, likes it for the community, or after a year or so grows to hate it immensely. And the reasons for the hate are pretty varied. One is some people don't like the fact that they change your workouts every day. Some don't like the exercises that they use. Some get injured. Actually, more than some get injured. A lot get injured. Now, when I say injured, there's two different definitions when it comes to CrossFit. One are injuries you sustain that are brand new, that you get from doing CrossFit. Others are old injuries you had, maybe when you were a kid, or years ago, 10, 20, however many years ago, and after doing these exercises for their recommended reps and time, they come back, and they come back just as painful as they were the first time. So I got really interested in this. I had a couple buddies that were older, played hockey with me. I play hockey, been playing for 20 years now, ice hockey here in Texas. And a couple of my buddies who retired and see them once a year at tournaments are like, oh yeah, I'm doing CrossFit now. And they did a couple burpees. I'm like, well, that's good for you, great if you're going out there. But then I started hearing more and more about CrossFit as you went on. And the first thing I heard about was the documentary. It was Fittest in the World. That was the first one I saw on Netflix, and that pretty much detailed the 2015 CrossFit Games, from the beginning of the games to the end. Highlighting certain favorites or people that did well the year before, or were expected to do well again that year. The other one was 1 second more, I think, or one less second. It's another one from like 2011, I think. They did a documentary series about it, and the difference is insane. In the most recent one, 2015, they're doing stadiums, they're doing different venues. In the one in 2011, it was in a field from what it looked like, with a big warehouse in the back. So the popularity of it can't be denied. I mean, it's been almost 10 years, so usually these workout fads have about 3 to 4 year shelf life. Some, a little bit longer. But the danger in CrossFit that I've seen from this, because I got interested, I was like, wow, they're doing all these workouts. But the thing that jumped out at me, and this was before all my research into it, was when I was watching Fittest in the World, the most recent one, a couple years ago, they did something called Murph, where it's done in the California sun on a field with AstroTurf on it. And anyone who's ever been in a marching band and practiced on that stuff in the summer, especially in Texas heat or, southern heat or whatever you want to call it, the AstroTurf traps the heat and then pulls it up about 8 to 10 feet over the ground and just keeps it there, cooking and stewing. So they have these events on the AstroTurf. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's insane. And they're saying it was really hot there and people are, doing their runs and doing their workouts, and then as soon as they're done, they're going and passing out in the shade or, have to go straight into an ice bath. I'm like, well, and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't think it was that hot. I was like, you're on AstroTurf doing this stuff. It's not good for you. It's basically almost working out in a sauna. So I watch this. I'm like, okay, that's kind of disturbing. And you got people passing out. You got people cramping up. And then like, oh, we got another workout to do in about an hour or 30 minutes or whatever. Better get warmed up for that one. I'm like, you just collapsed from a run, or you just collapsed from your last workout. Like, I'm not going to list all the ones they do, but it's, I think, 2 or 3 days worth of workouts they do with multiple workouts usually in the same day. And these workouts aren't like, oh, I'll do 10 to 15 minutes hard. No, they include, miles of running, multiple reps for snatch and grab, where if you don't know what that is, basically start with a bar on the ground, pull it to your shins, and then straighten your back up, and then to your shoulders. No, there's a couple different ones. That's a snatch. The other one is they do have the same thing on the ground. They just pull up and they keep the bar at their waist. They're doing some of those and just all these heavy form intensive exercises using heavy weights for the men and the women. So the women, of course, have the smaller weight, but the men have this weight that's like they're working out for reps, stuff that you shouldn't be doing more than a couple times for professional, like, Olympic weightlifters training. So I looked at that and I was like, okay, well, I don't know a whole lot about it. I'll do some research. I'll look up some videos and see how everyone else thinks about it. Maybe I'll draw my own conclusions from it. So I looked up on YouTube another video. It was for the World's Strongest Man, Brian Shaw, because I was into my fitness kick and go down the YouTube rabbit hole. So 3-time World's Strongest Man American. So there's a video of him working out with Ben Smith, the one who won the World's Fittest title in 2015 on that documentary. So I looked it up, and they were doing the lifts where you just pull it to your waist, and the first thing Brian Shaw says is, you're not doing the right form. Your form's wrong, or your form's off, or it's not good. So I'm thinking, this is the fittest man in the world for what the game said, and the world's strongest man just told him, you're not lifting weights right. And when it comes to what you think the fittest in the world is compared to the world's strongest, when it comes dealing with heavy weights, I'm going to go with the opinion and the facts of the guy that's been doing it professionally, not just for reps and to beat some time or score of some other guy. So that was the thing that really jumped out at me. It's like, you're supposed to be the poster boy for your sport, and just someone that's been lifting weights as long as that guy has said that your form's wrong, and it shouldn't become as any surprise from what I found out. The other thing was, I looked up recently. This was like 1 or 2 nights ago. There was a workout of the day, I think, for a regional qualifier for Matt Frazier, the last year's winner. So he and 2 other guys were doing their workouts, and within a minute, I think they were doing snatches where they go up to their hands and then overhead. Within a minute of them starting that one, was the very first exercise, the announcer goes, well, his form's not that good. I'm like, that's the current reigning champion of the CrossFit Games, and within a minute of the first workout of this video, it's like, oh, his form's not very good, but he's going for reps, so it's okay. I'm like, how is that okay? And so I got even more curious. All right, who's won these things? It's been going on for about 10 years, so let's see who's won all these before. So from the documentaries, I know that Ben Smith won 2015, and from just what I looked up, Matt Frazier, the guy that came in second that year, won 2016. And then some guy named Khalil won in the 2011 one for the other documentary on Netflix. And then some guy named Rich Froning won it like 4 or 5 times in a row. So I was looking at it going, holy crap. So I'm looking at the stats of these people. All right, how tall are they? How much do they weigh? I think it said the tallest one on there was Ben Smith. The guy was about, I think, 5'11", 190. And then all the other winners and the top people looked like 5'7", 5'6", 5'9". I'm like, and 195 pounds, 200 pounds, 187 pounds. I'm like, holy moly. And then their wrists are as thick as my calves because they have to do all this weight for reps every day. And I'm just looking at going, wait a minute. Where's all the other athletes at? Why are all these only people that have the shorter stature and the lighter weight winning these things? And so I look up another couple of videos, see what kind of people do CrossFit like competitively for the games versus the people that are doing it for health benefits. Which that's the only thing. If you're in CrossFit, you're not doing it for health benefits. It's a sport. Sports are supposed to be won, so you're supposed to be competing. So, like anything else, I'm looking at it going, all right, so let's get some videos of some bigger guys, some bodybuilders, weightlifters, stuff like that, powerlifters, and everyone that's done weightlifting from out of college or has degrees in physical fitness, been not professional weightlifters, but like Olympic weightlifters, having coaches that were Olympic weightlifters, been studying correct form for years. They all say the same thing. They all say that everything for the heavy weights they do, for the snatch and grabs to anything for the barbell, the form is usually completely wrong. Even if it's not completely wrong, it's wrong enough to be hurt eventually. You will not come away from CrossFit after a year if you don't have the correct form without either severe joint pain or back pain or serious injury. And the only reason I say serious injury instead of, I just, maybe dropped it on my toe, or, I couldn't lift that one time and passed out. Oh, that's nothing. That's not injury. That's inconvenience. Injury comes from when you're doing the wrong form, so you're using other muscles to make up for it. And so you're throwing that weight up, and remember, you're timed, and these are for reps. And when you throw that weight up, and all of a sudden your body goes, well, guess what? You pushed through the last 4, and I let you take that weight down, but you got 10 more to go, and this next one is not coming down on the floor. It's coming down on you. So you got people going past what their body is screaming at them to stop because it's no longer beneficial. Now your body's in survival mode going, okay, we think you're dying, so we're going to put as much energy as we can into your muscles and adrenaline to make sure you stay alive, because this is obviously a fight or flight response. You're obviously doing something life or death because you're telling me you have to keep going for however long you need. And then eventually your body goes, well, you wanted 10 more, I give you 4, and guess what? You have nothing left. Doesn't matter how mentally strong you are. Once your body has nothing left, it has nothing left. It only depends on what goes first. Is it going to be your joints? Is it going to be, you can't get your breath back? Is it going to be your muscle? When your muscle's finally failing, when the weight's in an awkward position? I don't know. But from all the stories I've heard, this is definitely a thing with CrossFit. So, brings me back to my original point of who are the people winning these things. Well, other than the height and weight, I also looked at the age. These people, I don't think one person I saw the last 8 years was over the age of 30. And if they were close to 30, I think the highest I saw when it was around 27. Then they got 24, 25, 26-year-olds that have been doing it for years already. And just seeing the documentary, all these people have injuries. They're like, oh no, gotta push through it, gotta win the games. I'm like, no, you're working. This is a sport, yes, but if you went to the Stanley Cup final in hockey, that's pushing through pain because your team's counting on you and you still can contribute something. If you're only out there against yourself and you're like 200th out of 300 people and you still have to think, oh, I gotta push through this pain. I'm like, no. Why? Just take your, if you want to do it next year, why take the chance to get permanently injured or injured so bad you can't get back the next year just by saying, oh, I need to be have the highest I can. That's just madness. It's almost cult-like is what I hear a lot from the CrossFit people. And you gotta think to yourself, why are these injuries happening? And not just to the pros, to the people that just go there thinking, oh, I'm gonna get a good workout. So and so at the office down the hallway is doing CrossFit and he looks great. And then you find out, all right, well, who owns the CrossFit? Who's actually certified to teach it? And from what I've heard, you pay $1,000, take a 2-day seminar, about I think 5 hours each day, and that's it. You're now licensed to be able to open your own location and teach other people CrossFit from a 2-day seminar. 2 days. And these are Olympic level lifts these people are doing with these heavy weights. I haven't even gotten into other exercises yet. I'm just sticking closer to the weight list, but they give you like a no break to a 30-second break between workouts on some of these. So just imagine, okay, do a mile run. Is below 10 minutes. All right, that's pretty good. That's not bad. All right, now from that goes straight to doing box jumps, which is basically a box about 2.5, 3 feet high that you jump up using both your legs. Just straight up and down. No, one hop up and one hop down. No, just straight up and down for, let's just say, 30 reps in 45 seconds. Something stupid like that. How many you can, or however many you can do in a minute. So you're trying to do that, and then you go from there. Like, all right, now let's lift some weights. Let's do kettlebells. All right, kettlebells, up and down, up and down. All right, now let's do the snatch and grab. All right, so get it up there for 240 or 185 pounds, 190 pounds, and go up and then down. It's like, all right, now do 30 of those. All right, I'm like, what? So you're doing all this aerobic exercise. You're going straight from one thing to the other with little to no rest, and then you're expected to lift heavy weights at the middle or end of this. I'm like, you're basically on the downhill slope to hurting yourself no matter what. If you're doing this for what the highest weight that you can. Because apparently if you don't, then you're not considered, good. And the peer pressure is always there to compete. Like I said, that's a good part, but with this kind of thing, you don't want to compete. You want to be healthy. And that's one of the downfalls of it. The other thing is that, like I said, you get a 2-day seminar to do these lifts, and they're not licensed physicians or people that went to college for 4 years getting their physical fitness degree, physical education, kinesiology, chiropractic, whatever, you name it. These people don't know anything about your body. They don't know anything about usually how your muscles are supposed to work and what workouts are safe. Usually, from what I understand, these people that open it up, there's very few good gyms, people that actually know what they're doing and care about what your injuries are, what you should and should not be doing, what you're recommended. All they do is put the workout on the board and go, all right, here's the highest weight, here's a step down to here, and here's your other one here. But if you're really good, you're going to go on for the highest weight. And everyone's like, oh yeah, let's do that. Let's see who can do that. And so usually it's like, okay, well, you got someone in there brand new trying CrossFit for the first time. You go in, like, all right, this is how you do a snatch. Take it here, 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 and then up. All right, practice that 10 times with just a bar, and then let's do 100 of them. Or some stupid number like that. It's like, what? How do you know they're doing the right form? Like, just stories like that abound in this. And when you have people that, one, are not in good shape in the first place, or two, a little bit older, maybe, they were couch potatoes till they were 30, and then they decide, hey, I want to do CrossFit because, it looks good. And then they go and do it, and then they break a leg. Or their knee goes because, oh, by the way, they had a prior knee injury in middle school, but they forgot about it. And by the way, now you're doing all this pressure on your joints for these, exercises, and guess what? Now your knee's totally wrecked and you can't do any exercise. And the internet abounds in these stories. There's also some good things about CrossFit. Like, don't get me wrong, I've heard lots of people like, oh, I love it, I'll go and I'm in best shape of my life, I feel better, for women, I've heard some things like, oh, I didn't have confidence before, but I can do pull-ups like you wouldn't believe. And men are like, oh yeah, I look great, I feel great, I have so much more energy. And the only thing I have to say to that is, it's good for a while. It usually is. Usually it's good for about a year. For the people that go 4 days a week and, they get in tremendous shape, but then after a year, usually, if they were in okay shape to begin with, or if they weren't, after that year, that's usually when your body starts screaming at you, yeah, remember all those reps you did, those thousands and thousands of reps you did this last year, because your form wasn't right, now your back is messed up permanently. Now your knees are going prematurely. Now your ankles are swollen because, they've been taking more weight at more extreme angles than you're used to. Now your wrists are seizing up because you've been putting this heavy weight on it and it's never done that before. So you went straight from within a month of just using your own body weight to this ungodly amount, and it's just not good for you after a while. You can get the beginner gains like anything else. If you start working out hard, you get those beginner gains and you look good and you're like, oh, I want to keep these up and keep doing it. The only problem is that even if you want to concentrate on correct form and technique, if you question any of the CrossFit coaches, their egos are usually so big that they're like, I don't want to hire you, telling me how to do my business. This is my gym. Like, what? I'm a doctor. I have a 4-year degree in kinesiology and chiropractic, and or this other guy, has been. I'm a college level coach for their weightlifting program, and the guy's like, I don't care what the hell you are. I'm like, these stories have happened. These stuff I've seen on YouTube of these stories. These people going in with these, qualifications to do these things and calling out their trainer after don't want them to hurt themselves really. And the trainer either goes, oh no, you got to do it for reps, or don't tell me about my business, because anyone there in the gym that sees them getting put in their place, no one's going to want to come to that gym anymore, because all of a sudden it's like, wait, what? I'm not doing it right? Well, isn't that dangerous? Or how come you don't know this? Once you start asking questions about your gym about CrossFit, then the whole thing goes away real fast. It's like answering simple questions like, how many people have been injured in this gym since it opened? How many injuries are knee related? How many injuries are exhaustion related? How many people retain after they've been there for half a year at least? How many people still come back after 6 months? Because you can't go after 1 month or 2 month or 3 month. Usually those are people that don't want to stay anyway and just lose interest. But after 6 months, you're pretty committed. And then if the numbers look like what, and you're paying sometimes hundreds of dollars a month to go to these gyms and let them do this to you. So to wrap up here, there are good and bad things about CrossFit. The good is, if you're between the ages of 15 and 28, it'll probably be good for you for a couple of years. Probably a little bit longer than most people that would be over that age. The bad news is that it'll kill your joints eventually and your back. The good news is that it's a community related. They have meets. They have meetings, and they got someone else in the gym that wants to see you succeed because they want someone to compete against. The bad news is that when you do that, you do higher reps than your body's made to do, and for lifts that require exquisite form, usually about years of form, just working on that to get the lifts correct, that it's ingrained in you. And these guys want you to do it after just a couple of practices, and they want you to do it for high reps at a high speed. So the other good thing about it is, eventually, if you do stick with it, you get the pretty much the same shape as everyone else that's doing it. So you're not going to be unique. You're not, if you're like, hey, I wanted a stronger back or a better back. You're probably not going to get that with CrossFit, just because for the fact that your back's going to eventually go out after a while. If you're looking for a huge chest, I'm like, take up bodybuilding. Go to an actual gym. Get a personal trainer, and he'll teach you how to isolate. But if you're looking for anything that keeps you training for another sport, don't take up CrossFit, because it will ruin anything that you need for that other sport eventually. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. Disclaimer, I've never done CrossFit. I can't, just for the fact that after 20 years of playing hockey, and my knees are still good, but I have flat feet as well, so running has always been out for me. And then anything that's past 90 degrees on my knees does not feel good. It just doesn't. And that's my body telling me, hey, you can't do squats. Okay, but then that's a lot of what CrossFit is. It's like one-footed squats going up and down for each leg, and then regular squats with weight on you, and then snatches. You gotta have a lot of strength in your legs and in your joints, and that's just not me. That's not what my body will let me do. So just judging based on all the evidence out there, the actual experts like the World's Strongest Man, their own commentary team telling you that their champions don't have the correct form, to everything in between for the people doing it for leisure or because they want to be involved in the community. If you're gonna do it, I wouldn't pay everything up front. It's like those old gym memberships right here. Sign up for a year. It's gonna be $1,000, but we can take that payment monthly, and then you do, and then you're stuck there if whatever case happens. Anyway, there's probably some information that I'm either leaving out, or some nuances that I'm not 100% sure on. If that's the case, I don't care. This is the only video I'm doing. It means nothing to me if I get any comments or a CrossFit community comes out to hate me. It's my channel. I really could give a crap what any of the CrossFit community thinks. If they want to nitpick the video and go, oh, you missed this, you missed that, or that's not correct, I don't care. Because I'm 35. I've been playing hockey for 20 years. No major injuries. All my teeth. No broken bones. And that's a sport that's been known for its contact and its hitting, but if you take any classes, they teach you how to do the right stuff all the time. And that can go for any sport. But like I said, I'm wrapping this up. So if anyone wants to give hate on the video, I guarantee you I won't read any comments. So if you want to use it just to vent, that's fine. If you want to agree with me, that's fine too. Either way, this is Andrew T coming at you once again, and y'all have a good one.